Push the button. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.
Right, so I've wanted to make a video kind of like this for a while, where I basically address the matchmaking shit in Marvel Rivals at the moment. Because obviously there's a lot of people talking about it, and of course people pick up on a topic when it gets you loads of views. People did this with the player numbers, they all picked up on it, and basically they're just people just farming views and fucking boring old shit like that. But I want to actually give you some hard evidence into, like, before they obviously say if there is EOM or if there isn't, because they haven't actually said anything at the moment. But I want to kind of prove to you that there actually is, and it's blatant, and I want to explain to you why. I'm going to show a picture on the screen now of all my stats for ranked. As you can see, I'm Platinum 3 at the moment, and I've got 37 games played and 27 wins, which is above a 50% win rate, which is what people would say engagement optimized matchmaking strives to put you in. It strives to keep you at a 50-50 around that area. Also, you can see I've got 6.5 hours. Now, as you can see, this is season 2, which I basically didn't touch at all. Since I've played since season 1 on this account. Only played Season 0 on my Xbox account, which I don't play anymore. And as you can see, yep, 2 matches played, 1 win. That's a 50-50. If I bring you over to now Season 2.5, which is where I started playing a little bit more, just to kind of get out of Bronze 2. But as you can see, I've played 8 matches and only won 3, which is roughly a 50-50 win rate. But then if I bring up Season 3, which is where I've started to do the thing I'm going to explain in a second, as you can see, matches played 19, wins 15, and I went from Bronze 2 to Gold 3. Now I know that's not like a hard rank to get through or whatever, but that still just shows that something's going on. But now if I bring you to the current season, Season 3.5, now sure you can say, oh, you're just in winner's queue, you're in winner's queue. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. That's verifiably not a thing. As you can see, I've played 8 matches and gotten 8 wins. If this was EOMM, I feel like it would have 8 matches played and 4 wins. But now I'm going to explain to you what I've actually been doing for the last couple days. So number 1, prove that this game does have EOMM no matter what the devs even dare try and say. But also to just try and break it as hard as I can. So let me explain to you kind of what I did. So after Bronze 2, basically what I was doing is I was playing for 2 games. And then after 2 games, which would both be a win by the way, I would then leave ranked and go play quick play with my mates, or just get off the game basically. And then I wouldn't come back to ranked in 2 days, even if I was playing quick play through those 2 days. Say for Monday I was playing ranked, I got my 2 wins, then I get off for Tuesday, Wednesday, or for Tuesday or Wednesday I'm there playing quick play with my mates, and then on the Thursday I go back to ranked. It will give me 2 instant wins again, and it has been doing that since I started doing it. Where I've got 3 losses last season was the games where I wasn't doing this. Those are the games at the start I remember, because I got a 3 loss streak at the start of the season because I couldn't climb out of Bronze 2. And the reason I couldn't climb out of Bronze 2 was because everyone on my team were stupid. They were all stupid and couldn't play the game. So if you exclude those 4 matches where I couldn't get out of Bronze 2 because of the stupid teammates, you have again a 1-to-1 win-loss. You have all wins. By the way, these are 15 wins in a row. These are not 15 wins spaced out in between each other. These are all 15 wins in a row from Bronze 2 up to Gold 3, which was last season. And then since last season, I've gone from Gold 3, push from Gold 3 to Platinum 3 without getting a single loss. That's not winner's queue, mate. That is EOMM. And let me explain why that is. So basically, if you think about it like this, EOMM wants me to stay on the game for longer, or in this case ranked for longer, so therefore it will give me 2 wins in order for it to think that I've gotten a boost in my dopamine or whatever, that I'm like, okay, I've gotten 2 wins now, I will go play for longer. But by me getting off or leaving ranked after I've got my 2 wins, the game goes fucking mental and is like, oh crap, this guy, he keeps getting off the game, we need to keep him playing the game. So what does EOMM do to get me to put more hours into ranked? It keeps giving me wins. By keeping giving me wins, number 1, I keep climbing my rank. Number 2, I'm getting MVPs in almost every game. And to be honest, I'm also noticing nearly all these ranked games, my teammates are better than the enemy team by a fucking mile. There's only been a few games that I can remember from Season 2.5 while I was on this 15 win streak where my teammates were just like lacking a little bit, and I had to hard carry just a bit. And so if engagement optimized matchmaking really was in the game, this is exactly what it would try to do. It will try to get you to play for longer. It does not care about anything else besides giving you predetermined wins and giving you predetermined outcomes for every single game. And it will try to make sure that your first game's on, if you're a player that doesn't play a lot or is doing what I'm doing, it will make sure their wins. I feel like this is the exact same thing it will do in quick play. Because in quick play kind of works the same. They don't really care if you're going for Lords. They don't really care if you're playing for fun. They'll still give you 2 instant wins or 2 instant losses to determine how the rest of the game session will kind of go. Now here's the problem, obviously, with like the internet and all that shit. A lot of people are actually just terrified and fucking scared. A lot of like the top YouTubers, not naming any names here, a couple of them obviously have said their piece, but they're not like outright, you know, saying like, oh, matchmakers in the game and this and that, because they're actually getting sponsored by these companies to, like, you know, like they get money from these companies. So why in your right mind would you know, like prevent yourself making like money and shit? You know, like you're not gonna shit on a company for having a matchmaking system when they're paying you like £1,000 just to play their game, you know, or $1,000, whatever. You know, like from a business standpoint, that doesn't actually make any sense. And obviously, if I was in that position and I thought like them, I probably wouldn't talk about matchmaking and talk about all these negative things to do with the game. I'd only ever, you know, make videos talking about skins and saying how skins are like the best thing ever. But I was like, you know, that's a whole new topic. That's just, you know, that's just typical. That's just to attract attention and get people to buy the skins. They tell the YouTubers to, you know, make videos on the skin, so people buy the skin, so then big Chinese company gets money. But I already know what some kind of stupid like rage bait will be in the comments if this video does get a couple comments on it. It'll be stupid ones like, oh well, you didn't show all those 15 games being all wins and this and that. And do you want to know why I didn't show that? Because I'm not sad, and I don't sit there recording every single match I play on Marvel Rivals, because I just don't care. This is just something I've been doing in my spare time. I just hop on for a couple. I don't even play quick play anymore because the matchmaking's so bad. You can't even play quick play. The EOMM is just so bad. And not only that, I'll throw up a picture on the screen now of one of the games that I did play quick play. Just a zero Lord progression loss, and just nothing. You couldn't leave spawn at all. But that's what I mean. I know some idiot rage bait, because all people do in this Marvel Rivals community, everyone just rage baits each other, and it's just some weird dystopian behaviour. I mean, literally, like, I just had an argument with someone on the game. Of course, typing, because, again, no one on this game wants to speak, because you're all emo little fucking weirdos, mate. All of you little femboys. Like, yeah, so, like, none of you actually want to use your microphones. You all just want to type. I don't know, because of the comms bans, again, another thing no one will talk about. No one's talking about the comms bans. Only people just defending fucking censorship. I mean, how fucking weird you have to be to defend censorship, which is something that prohibits a group of lads coming home like a fucking Saturday drink and just having a chat to each other on the game, because all three of them are on different platforms. Just picture that in your head. You come home from being down the pub with your mates and you want to hop on Marvel Rivals, and because one of you is on PlayStation, one of you is on PC and the other one's on Xbox, you have to use the in-game chat because none of you want to use Discord, because evidence proves, and we know, Discord is a disgusting, shady, paedophile-filled app, steals your data and sells it off the fucking buyers out in like Afghanistan, mate. Because we know that, we're not going to use Discord, and because you have to use the in-game chat, oh god forbid you say one thing to each other, mind you, you get instant ban, not because someone reported you, but because an in-game moderation thing picks up that you said the N-word to your mate who doesn't care. And if they want to make this thing of, oh no, but what if a child hears it and then the child picks up on it? Well, that's why you can turn on and off voice chat. Voice chat can be turned on and off. You also have this thing on your console and on your PC called child protection. If a parent really doesn't want their child to talk to strangers saying the N-word and things like that, they can just turn that on their console. Then, you know, the child never has to hear about anything. what this seems like is a bunch of fucking white liberals that have just gotten upset and mad for the last like 5 years on Call of Duty, and probably mad for the last 10 years on Call of Duty, of being called the N-word in nearly every lobby. So they've gotten upset about it, and this is why censorship is such a massive thing now. It's not because of kids hearing it, it's because of depressed fat white men fucking hearing it and getting upset about it. But as you know, like, you know, keeping to Marvel, which does have a lot of fat white men in it that just actually sound like fucking, I mean, like, they literally just sound like Alan Carr, but just like, if Alan Carr was like more gay and sounded younger, that's literally what half the people that we meet on this game sound like. And if they don't sound like that, that's because they're typing in fucking chat and they're not even speaking with their microphone, because to be honest, they probably do sound like that, but they're just too scared to actually fucking speak on the microphone. And they always use the excuse, oh, we don't have a microphone, but you do have a microphone because you have a fucking $5,000 PC. Fucking absolute joke of a community. But like, what do I want to come out from this video? I don't want people to take what I say and copy what I say. I want you to actually combat what I say. Sure, take in my information. I don't give a fuck if you don't agree with me. I can visually see. I don't care if you say, oh, you haven't played enough ranked and you're in winner's queue. I don't give a fuck. I genuinely don't care. The fact that in the first two seasons where I play ranked, quote unquote properly, I can't even climb out of bronze 2 without getting a 50-50 win-loss. And then of course, when I start doing what I've been doing, which is trick engagement optimized matchmaking into making me play for longer, it's almost like, oh, now I've climbed. Now I'm actually climbing. So honestly, if I see any of those comments kind of like that, I just instantly know it's like rage bait, because it's just false. You know, like, if you do comment something and it's just some stupid rage bait, don't expect a reply. You're not going to get anything. I'm only going to speak to human beings, because you are probably one of these mongoloids on this game that just sits there rage baiting in the chat and only types in chat and probably has like a really grainy Alan Carr, emo, gay sounding voice, and you're not actually going to add anything to the conversation. You just rage bait people that actually want to have a conversation, you know, like real human beings, you know, like you don't go down the pub and just start trying to fight every single person in that pub. You know, you go in the pub, you have a drink, you might have a little chat with some random guy, or, you know, well, I'll say chat with some random girls, but to be honest, the majority of this community probably just chats to men, you know, boys. Definitely little boys, fucking bunch of pedos, verifiable pedos. But like, you don't go to the pub and just want to fucking fight everyone. You go to the pub with one intention, having a fucking drink or having something to munch. You don't, if you find someone there, you just have a chat, innit? Like, it's a normal conversation, you talk about life, you talk about that. You don't go in there and say, oh mate, your fucking hairline's off or whatever. You know, that's just something I thought to the top of my head. But it's basically the mentality of these people on Marvel, and a lot of the people on COD as well. Mostly Marvel, because literally a lot of you, I'd say like 80% of you, are just like emo freaks, mate. Like, you're just weirdos. But yeah, like, if you have anything actual value to add to this, and if this video does get picked up by the algorithm, which is highly, you know, kind of highly unlikely, but if it does, then that's quite cool, because, you know, more people see it, the more, like, I don't give a fuck about views and all that shit, but I just want to get my opinion out there. And it's disgusting how we live in a world where only the top, like, YouTubers and streamers and top anything is the only view that kind of gets out there, and everyone just picks up on that and believes it, because everyone in this world, genuinely, like 80% are just sheep. There's only like the 20% me, my mates, and probably like a couple of random people watching this video who will look at them saying, oh, you know, the matchmaking is this and the matchmaking is that. You know, there's no engagement optimized matchmaking. They'll look at that. You know, people like us, they will look at that and go, oh no, you're false, and they'll stand on business, but then be flamed for standing on business, even though generally, you know, the least looked at, the looked down upon opinion is usually the right one. And that's just the video on its own. Like, there's so many fucking examples where that's like a thing, where, you know, the 20% which are looked at by the 80% as the weird ones. I mean, I'll just throw a controversial analogy for that. It's kind of like how the child transition and all that kind of shit went up, where basically you had like a lot of the world saying, oh, it's fine, let the child do what they want to do. But then you had like the 20% saying, no, it's fucking wrong, it's a fucking child, you know, saying like, oh, it's the parents, all this shit. And we, you know, people like us looked at the 80%, you know, the people for having children having their knobs cut off, and children having drugs pumped into them forcefully against their own will by paid for doctors in America. We were looked at by that 80% as weird. We were looked at that 80% as, oh, why are you denying a child its happiness? And now people are catching on, and now that shit has thankfully thankfully been made illegal because there's an actual fucking president, as you know, in the States. There's an actual fucking human being there. Like, if that fucking black woman genuinely got elected for president, your country would be fucked. Your whole fucking nation would just be fucked, mate. You'd be goners. Fucking, you know the saying, long live America, long live the Queen. Yeah, long live America. If that fucking idiot ever got elected, Jesus fucking Christ, your country would be fucked. I know you all like say, oh, but now Trump's elected, now our country's getting fucked. No, mate, your country would be fucked if fucking anyone but him got elected. Jesus Christ, mate, he's the only one with a fucking brain. Yeah, enough, ranting and shit. I could make multiple videos on my views about stuff, but keeping to Marvel, yeah, EOMM is in the game. It definitely is in the game. It also Lord caps you. If you're someone like me or my mates who just only go for Lords, primarily we only go for Lords. I've commented on a bunch of videos and people have just said it's rage bait, but they're just too stupid. They're just the sheep. They're just the 80% that will eventually turn into the 20%, so it'll be the 100%. Because they're sheep. They want to follow the majority. They don't want to actually think for themselves. But yeah, Marvel does progression cap you. Just go over it briefly. It saved 2,200 out of 2,400 to Lord for like Mr. Fantastic. And the last 5 games, you've been getting loads of progress, loads of final hits, loads of damage, loads of inflations, big long domination games. For your last like 200 points or maybe 400 points, you'll be getting 0 final hits, maybe 1,000 damage, maybe like 5 inflations, and really just quick games, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, so you don't get any minutes, and it will be like that for a good couple games to make you get off, to stop you playing for long, which is like kind of defeats the whole purpose of like matchmaking, because isn't like the point of a game to get you to get you invested in the said game, which is what it kind of tries to do, and is doing, trying to do to me for ranked. It's just giving me force wins, so I keep playing ranked for longer. But then it's like if you play for too much, the game tries to like push you off. It's so fucking weird, and it's just like no one's gonna ever understand this matchmaking unless these fucking stupid companies actually make a full legitimate but they're not gonna do that because they've been manipulating and gaslighting player bases for the last since Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which was the first sign of proper engagement optimized matchmaking, which was 2016. So they've been doing this fucking for ages, 9 years games under the radar, and are only now, like a year ago, only now getting found out to be using these fucking disgusting shit. And it's just like, it defeats the purpose of wanting to play the game. Like, why would you play a game where every single outcome is automatically predetermined? It's just, yeah, whatever, mate. Do what you want with that. Do what you want with that. Comments and rage bait and the thing, so I don't, you won't get a reply. Don't expect a reply, because you ain't gonna get a reply from anyone but, another person rage baiting that say, oh, well done, mate. You got him there, son. Well done. Or just be a sheep and just watch the video and just have no input. Don't even comment on it. Like, I don't care if you. I don't care about getting in the of course I care about getting in the algorithm, but I don't care about getting comments just for that. I care about getting comments to spark conversation. That's like the whole point of this. I wouldn't make this just for making it, like all these other YouTubers do. They just make these videos just because it's the trend. Just because, the trend at the moment is EOMM. So if I make a video on it, if I make 10 videos on it, I might get 1,000 views, I might get 1 million views. I don't give a fuck, mate. I'm just putting in my perspective, and I want some feedback back. And I know I'm going to get, probably just going to get either retards just commenting the entire time, or, you get the odd person like, oh, okay, this and that, oh, okay. And then that creates a conversation, and with conversation comes more people gathering in to see said conversation. The more voices, the more will be heard. It's just as simple as that. If you don't want the matchmaking in the game, don't just sit there like a fucking sheep and complain about it in these top YouTubers' comment sections just for it to, nothing's going to happen about it. Nothing. But yeah, like I said, take that how you want. I don't really give a shit. Yeah, if you comment some rage bait, I won't reply. I know when people are rage baiting, because all my mates are masters at gaslighting and rage baiting people. So trust me, you won't get a reply. I might put some funny little emoji though, or I might just get someone else to reply to you and just call you a cunt. It's probably fucking easier.